Let me guess. You've played these before, right? Am I right? Oh my god, I was right. I can't believe I called it. So, Super Mario Galaxy, you know, these are games I think that, you know, all of us are fairly familiar with. The first game, you know, came out in 2007. You know what's actually really interesting about this one is that when I first saw the trailer, I actually didn't like it, which I know is kind of a weird thing to even, like, say now, but, you know, I was, like, I don't know, like, I think, like, 9 or 10 years old when the trailer came out, and I thought it looked way too different from Mario 64 and Sunshine, because I was a huge fan of Mario Sunshine, and, you know, I looked at Galaxy, I'm like, oh, this is too different, this is not the same, yeah, whatever, and just because of that one trailer, I didn't play this game for several years, and eventually I did, and now I think I have played it pretty much every single year ever since, so about, what, 9-10 times in a row, so absolutely obsessed with Mario Galaxy 1 still. It's just a great game, but of course, when there's one great game, there's always a sequel. Well, there always should be a sequel. Mario Galaxy 2, this has kind of always been like a huge debate. Which one of these is the better, Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2? And I understand why some people definitely prefer the first game, but honestly, Galaxy 2, you can't really go wrong with this one. I mean, I've always preferred it just because I feel like the levels are a little bit better. You can play as Yoshi. There's just so many aspects to this game that I feel like are better defined. It's just a better game in general. The only thing that I really prefer over Galaxy 1 is the whole Rosalina story. Like, even the hub world, the Comet Observatory, I've never really cared for. Like, yeah, it's really charming. I love the music. But it takes a long time to get from place to place, whereas in Galaxy 2, you just kind of pop it in, and then you can go from galaxy to galaxy much quicker. And there's just more content in this game in general. So, I've always preferred Galaxy 2. So, obviously, these games were huge at the time. They're still huge. People still ask for Mario Galaxy 3. But this is not the only Mario Galaxy thing that came out. It's not just the video games. We're talking about official Super Mario Galaxy trading cards. Now, I've got a bunch of them here. I actually have a pack that we're going to open up. It's a trading card fun pack. You know what I actually like about this? If you see the words like tattoos, pop out, standees, trivia, this is actually font that I used to use. It's called Hobo Standard. That's just what the font is called. It's always really funny, like, you know, looking at, like, official merchandise, and I'm like, oh, Impact, oh, Hobo Standard, or, you know, whatever. I love being able to, like, know, like, what the official font name is called. Like, it's dumb. It's a dumb thing that I know, like, the names of so many different fonts, but I just do. But anyway, these trading cards were made by a company called Enterplay, and there's actually quite a few. I've got this entire stack of cards that we're going to be checking out. I've never really looked through them that thoroughly, but there are quite a few cards. I guess, like, looking at the back, I do believe there's actually 100 cards here, which is kind of insane. So we'll be seeing what we've got here. Now, there is actually some pretty fun errors on some of these cards. We'll see if we can find them. Like, there's some misspellings and stuff. There's even, I think, a wrong render, and it's just labeled completely wrong. So that'll be a lot of fun to check out. So we've got that, and you know, these are trading cards, so there's actually foil variants. I have 2 of them. Right here, we've got the Queen Bee, and we have Apricot Luma. Now, I don't know if this deck is going to have any more, but I think it's really funny how, you know, these cards really don't mean anything at all. They were just used to promote Mario Galaxy, and I just think it's hilarious that, like, they went out of their way to make foil versions, and there's 15 of them. Apparently, there's a 1 in 6 chance that you get one out of a deck. So let's just go ahead and bust this thing open. Oh, wow, this is actually kind of tight. Oh, there we go. Okay, it just kind of opened. Let's see what we get. Nothing. I've been gypped. Okay, so I actually think I might have already taken the card out of here. Or you know what? Maybe someone stole the card from me. Did anyone steal the card? I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and open up our card pack. And before we even get to the card pack, we've got a bunch of tattoos here. There are quite a few of them. I mean, there's a Goomba, obviously Mario. We've got the sweet Fire Mario one. That one's kind of cool. We've got a Luma, Honey Hive, Piranha Plant. Oh, that's fine. There's the shark. I think he's called Guppy. The shark can be a tattoo. That's kind of wild. B. Luigi. Wow, these are kind of specific. Got just Toad, another Luma, Cheep. Okay, you know what? That one is actually pretty damn cool. If I was like 9 years old in 2007, I might have actually, you know, put this one on my skin. And I would have been like, wow, I'm so cool. Star Wars. I don't know why there's Star Wars ones, but Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the cards themselves. See, so we've got Spring Mario here, and something that is kind of interesting about this is that you can actually assemble these to be foldable. So we're to just kind of do a little bit of this, and you can just kind of bend it a little bit, and there you go. Now you can ruin your card just like that. Isn't that great? No, I don't know why they even made the cards like this. I mean, why even make them or classify them as cards if they're not really going to be cards? Because I don't think cards are really supposed to do that. It's just kind of a weird thing. But what else do we have? We've got Ice Mario. It's another pretty interesting render. I'm wondering if the backgrounds are going to change. I'm assuming they do. The Boo Mario one, that one's pretty cool. We've got Rainbow Mario. Okay. Then we have Bee Mario. Got another Fire Mario. All right, 2 different Marios. Wow. And yet again, another Mario render. These ones do not bend. There's just a little bit of a description on the back. So that's actually kind of cool. So even though, you know, these cards aren't useful for, like, playing or anything, at the very least, you do get, you know, this nice little, like, detailed message, a little bit of a description. And, of course, we have Princess Peach. You know, I actually don't know if this is a official Mario Galaxy render. This render might be from one of the GameCube Mario parties. That's what it kind of looks like. I could be totally wrong, but it kind of looks like a GameCube Mario party. Then we have B. Luigi, Polari. Okay, that's interesting. An elderly black Luma that is one of Rosalina's most trusted advisors. I actually had no idea that this Luma had this name. I imagine some of you did. I didn't know that, but there you go. That's a fun little fact. And then Luma Lee, I actually didn't know that this was the official name of this Luma too. That's kind of cool. They do have names, although we don't really see that in the game. And we have a Star Bunny. I mean, it is honestly kind of wild, like, just how specific these cards get. Like, I mean, a freaking Star Bunny. Like, you wouldn't think something like this would get a trading card, but here we are. We've got Apricot Luma, another Queen Bee. This one, of course, is not a foil one. Then Ray, that's actually kind of a cool one. And this one's just Hungry Luma. He does look quite hungry. Got another Penguin and even Penguru. Penguru. Wow, this is kind of fascinating. I'm learning all these names. I like how this one is literally just bees. Like, nothing else about it. They're just a bunch of bees. What would a queen bee be without the worker bees? That's very true. And apparently this guy's called Coach. Had no idea that that was his name either. All right, now we've got a Guppy. And then Gizmo. I thought this guy was Gizmo, but I guess there's another Gizmo. Of course, classic Bowser. Got a little bit of Bowser Jr. It is nice that they did actually change the colors, like, you know, Bugaboom, got a nice orange background. I guess it's based off of, like, the enemy types. Like, this is an Undergrunt, Gunner, or I don't know. I mean, these are all, like, bosses. So I guess they kind of just made... They probably just, like, looked at the color of the character and, like, okay, what contrasts well? Purple with orange, of course. Then we've got Camilla. Now, here's our first mistake on the card. Now, this Bonefin is from Bonefin Galaxy, except for the fact that his name is actually not Bonefin. It's Kingfin. So, pretty easy mistake for them to make. I totally get why. Then we've got Major Burrows is next. And, of course, there's Mega Leg. Then we've got Tarantox. Top Maniac. That's actually a pretty cool render of him. Bouldergeist. I have to wonder how many of these renders are trapped on these cards and have never been made to the public. And here's another very bizarre misspelling, because it almost doesn't look like it if you look carefully, but Baron Burr actually is supposed to have an extra R. There's only 2, there's supposed to be 3. So this one, I think, is a lot more understandable. Like, you know, his name is literally Baron Burr, and that's it. So I totally get why this one has a mistake. Then next up, we've got Kamek, and there's the Spooky Speedster, a Twister, a nice Gringill, Toxbox, another sick render. I'm digging that Wiggler render too. A Mandibug, a Bomboo, Topman, Pumpkinhead Goomba. I wouldn't have guessed that was like the official name. I would have just assumed, I guess, Pumpkin Goomba. Then there's a Thwomp. We have a Pokey, and there is actually another one that I'm looking for here that's going to have another mistake, but that's not until we get to, I believe, the Piranha Plant. And there's a Boom Mushroom. These ones, you know, aren't nearly as interesting. They're literally just, you know, items in the game. Purple Coin, Star, Ice Flower, Grand Star, you know. These are just kind of like, you know, whatever. There's not much to really say about them. My God, there really is a lot of cards, isn't there? I mean, look at this. Look at how many cards we're going through. Okay, now we're getting to actual stages, which I think is another really fascinating thing that got turned into into cards. Like bouncing down Cake Lane, this is not even just a stage. It is like a specific part of a star. Then there's Polestar Path, one of the most famous stars in Mario Galaxy, because of course it's incredible music. Then there's Dirty Tricks of Major Burrows, Mario's First Journey, and Mario in Training. Planet in the Gusty Garden Galaxy, so I think you kind of get the idea here. There is a mistake on one of these cards that I'm looking for. A Snack of Cosmic Proportions, Terrantox's Tangled Web, that's a really fun one. A Planet in the Good A Galaxy, basically the first real star. Planet in the Terrace Galaxy, wow. And then for the rest of these, we have Rosalina's Story. So it basically is just like a Q&A about the story itself. See, in the library, Rosalina reads a story to the Lumas about how a young girl and a Luma built a spaceship to go and search. I can't even read all the text. It's getting blocked off by Rosalina. So yeah, the rest of these are basically just trivia. So, and there is a good amount of trivia cards. I mean, look at all of these. I'm not going to go through all of them at this point because we've already seen so many cards, but there's just so many trivia cards. And the last thing we have is the Collector's Guide book. Dude, imagine being one of the few people that actually tried to collect all of these. That's pretty awesome. Oh, that's interesting. So there's 8 pop-out standees. I actually didn't realize that there was only 8 of them, and I guess I have all of them. Like, pretty much the only cards that I don't have are all the foil renders. I've got pretty much everything else. But yeah, you know what? That's kind of nice that it comes with a collector's guide. So I just realized that this is on the background. Or, I'm sorry, the back side of this collector's guide. Look at this. Oh, this is so cool. Man, I would have loved to have, like, have this as a poster and like, hung it up when I was younger. The thing is, I did actually have a Mario Galaxy poster in my room when I was a teenager. But, it wasn't this one. It was just one where Mario's flying around Good A Galaxy. So with all that said and done, now you can finally get that badass Rosalina tattoo. You're welcome.